Hi everyone, Nonnie here, back for another class, and I want to thank you again for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking time to watch my preparation for my travel of beginning the Appalachian Trail. Before I begin, there are 5 questions I want to ask you because I want to see if you were paying attention to those other videos that I already did. Here's my first question. Number 1, how many miles is the Appalachian Trail for the class of 2023? I'm listening. How many miles? That's right, 2,198.4 miles. Very good. Number 2, how many states do I hike through from the beginning to the end to get through the entire Appalachian Trail? How many states? That's right, 14. What is the name for a trail family? Right, it's tramily. Really good. Glad you were listening. Here are the last 2 questions. What's a no-bow? And what is a so-bow? A no-bow is a northbounder going from Springer Mountain up to Katahdin, Maine. That's called being a northbounder. And a southbounder is somebody that is coming from Katahdin, Maine down to Springer Mountain. Very good. All right, so here's where I want to begin today. Well done. Thanks for doing a good job with those questions. And so I wanted to share a little bit with you about how often you come into town to resupply. We talked about resupply in the last video. Resupply means that you have hiked between 4 and 7 days, sometimes more, sometimes less, but about 4 to 7 days. You've carried 4 to 7 days of food on your back, and you've eaten it as you've gone along, and so your supplies are dwindling. You need to resupply. When you resupply, it means you're going to be coming off the trail and hiking down into town so you can get the supplies that you need. But another thing happens when you come into town. Let's think about what that might be. All right, here we go. Have you heard me say anything about taking a bath or a shower? You sure haven't, because there are no baths and there are no showers on the AT. Yep, that's right. You don't take a bath for 4 to 7 days. I can hear the girls now. Ew, gross. You know what? It is gross. You stink, you're smelly. So when you come off trail and you go into town to get your supplies, you're also taking a bath, taking a shower, you're washing your stinky, smelly clothes, and you are going to the laundromat to do that. You're going to the grocery store to get your groceries, and sometimes you go to a pharmacy to refill prescriptions. You may go to the post office to pick up something that somebody has mailed to you. What? Mailed to you? You're on the AT. How do they know? They're called resupply boxes. And those boxes are prepared at home before you ever leave, or they're prepared by somebody that is helping you while you're away on the trail. They prepare these packages and they mail them to a destination before you get there, so that by the time you arrive, you go to the post office and the box is waiting there for you. And that box can have food, it can have other clothing, it can have medicines, it can have any number of different things in it. Those resupply boxes, meet the needs of hikers and provide a lot of different things that they are needing along their journey. And it's a good time also, especially from winter to summer, where you can get your summer gear mailed to you in a resupply box, and then while you're at the post office, you take your winter clothes and you mail them back home because you no longer need them and you're not going to be carrying those in your pack. Okay, let's do some math. If the trail is 2,198.4 miles, how long do you think it's going to take me to do that? Well, you need a little more information, don't you? Here it is. Some hikers hike 7, 8 miles a day, some hike 15 miles a day, some hike 20 miles a day. I happen to hike 14 to 16 miles a day. Now, how would you figure out how long it's going to take me? That's right, you're going to need to divide. You're going to take that 2,198.4 miles and you're going to divide it by, let's just say 15 miles. Let's use an average of 14 to 16. That would be 15 miles. That's how many days it's going to take me to do the AT. Now, whatever that number is, you take that and you divide it again by 30, because typically there are 30 days in a month. And that will tell you how many months it is going to take me to do the Appalachian Trail. And believe it or not, when you come up with that figure, you're going to be astonished to learn that there are people that do the AT in 3.5 to 4 months. I don't know how they do it. I can't hike that fast, but they do. Now you know how long it takes to hike. And for those people that hike 7 to 8 miles a day, take that 2,198.4 and divide it by 7.5. Average of 7 and 8, 7.5. How many days is it going to take them? Divide that by 30 days, and then you're going to get the months. So you can see how many months it would take somebody hiking 7 to 8 days to do it, and somebody hiking 14 to 16 miles a day to do it. And you can compare the two and see that it's a much longer journey for those people that are doing 7 to 8 miles a day. But you know what? That's okay, because if that's what their comfort level is, it's not a race. You're there to enjoy beauty and to enjoy nature, your surroundings, the wildlife, the biodiversity. And, it's not a race to get to the end. You're supposed to be enjoying the journey along the way. Smelly clothes, no bath. Yep, pooping in the woods. We talked about that. You are supposed to be enjoying it along the way. You meet a lot of wonderful people hiking. You hike in the rain, you hike in the snow, you hike when it's windy, you hike when it's hot, when it's freezing cold. You hike every day, and sometimes hikers say, you know what, I don't feel like hiking today, I'm tired, or I don't feel like hiking today because it's pouring down rain and I don't want to walk in the rain today. You know what, there are no rules. That's okay, they don't have to. So a lot of people do and a lot of people don't, and either way is fine. There's no judgment or critique there from anybody. It's brushing your teeth. No electric toothbrushes on the AT. No electric toothbrushes, people. A lot of you may not use those anyway, but we use regular toothbrush and a tiny little tube of toothpaste about this big, not those great big ones mom and dad probably buy at home. And you brush your teeth, you walk away from the shelter area or the campsite area to brush your teeth. And why do you think you do that? Okay, the reason you do that is because there is a scent in that toothpaste, and animals are attracted to scent. And so you walk away to be able to do that in order for those animals not to be attracted to the shelter or the campsite area. And you know what kind of animals come? Not just for toothpaste, but wrappers that are left when they shouldn't be left there, or food that is not where it's supposed to be. All kinds of animals, mice, lots of mice. My grandson calls raccoons trash pandas. So there are trash pandas that come, and there are all other number of animals that can come and want to get into those scented things, including bears. And that is one of the reasons that you have bear cables and bear boxes to keep your food up and away, is to keep the bears from coming into the campsite. And yes, they really do that. I want to share a story with you about my grandson, Julian. Julian went on a camping trip with a friend, and they had gotten some snacks before they left, and in a bag, they each had their own bag, and he had left that bag full of his snacks out on the picnic table when he went to bed that night. And when he got up the next morning, his Slim Jim and all of his different things were gone because the trash pandas had come and eaten it, the raccoons had come. And he was furious. He just did not understand why they would have gotten into his food. And so we had to explain, you're in nature's bounty and you're outside. This is where they live. This is their home. This isn't your home. And anything that is edible, they're trying to survive, and that's what they do. They eat what they find. And it was a good learning lesson for him to find out that you didn't leave food out because it was not there the next day when he wanted it. But I wanted to share how the word trash panda came about. He just came up with that and named those raccoons that silly word, and it cracked me up. I thought it was funny. Anyway, until I talk to you in the next video, I want to thank you for joining me today, and you take good care, and I'll see you next time.